Hello everyone, welcome to Brilbook. In this video, we will have a look at purchase management with RFQ. We will cover the following topics in this video. Creation of purchase requisition, submission and approval of purchase requisition from manager, creation of RFQ and RFQ lines against requisition, creation of responses against requisition, acception and rejection of rates provided by vendors, finalizing and selecting the vendor, and creation of purchase order against requisition. To start with this video, we will be creating a purchase requisition record. To create a purchase requisition record, first we need to log into Brilbook. Here I have already logged into the Brilbook with inventory user who having access to creation of purchase requisition. To create a purchase requisition, navigate to the procurement menu group, expand the procurement menu group and click on purchase requisition menu. Collapse this menu list. Here you can see the list page of purchase requisition. With the help of create button, we will create the purchase requisition record. Here you can see the create page of purchase requisition. Now I am going to add the details to required and mandatory fields of this form. Select item, select entity. Here you can select the item as a component or a product. Here I am going to select the component. Select unit. Add quantity. Select purpose for this purchase requisition. Select site and warehouse. Add expected delivery date. After successfully add the details to the purchase requisition, click on Save button to save this record. Here you can see the detailed page of purchase requisition. Now our next step is to submit this purchase requisition to the manager for approval. For that, navigate to the approval button, click on approval and click on submit button. Here you can see the purchase requisition status is marked as submitted to manager. Now our next step is to approve this requisition from manager. For that, I am going to log in with inventory manager. Here I have already logged in with the inventory manager. So now I am going to open the record of purchase requisition for which is notified for approval. Click on notification bell icon. Here you can see the purchase requisition record get notified for approval. Click on that purchase requisition record. Here you can see the purchase requisition detail page and the purchase requisition status is submitted to manager. Now I am going to approve this record. For that, navigate to approval button, click on approval button and click on approve to approve this record. Here you can see the purchase requisition status is marked as approved by the manager. Now our next step is to create RFQ against this purchase requisition. For that, log in with purchase user, because the purchase user is the user who having access to create and process the RFQ records. Here I have already logged in with the purchase user. To create RFQ against purchase requisition, navigate to the procurement menu group, expand the procurement menu group and click on purchase requisition menu. Here you can see the list page of purchase requisition. Now I am going to select the record which is approved by manager state and click on create RFQ button to create RFQ record against this purchase requisition. Here you can see the create page of request for quotation, means RFQ. Now I am going to add the details to the RFQ record. Here you can see the detail page of request for quotation. Now I am going to add the details to required and mandatory field of this form. Add expected delivery date. If you want to add description regarding this RFQ, then add the description in this description section. Add delivery address. After successfully add the details, click on save button to save these details. Now I am going to add the vendors to the RFQ. For that, navigate to the Vendors tab besides the Lines tab. Click on the Vendors tab. With the help of Create button, you can create the vendor, or with the help of Add Existing button, you can add the existing vendors from the vendor list. Now I am going to add the existing vendor in this Vendors tab. Click on that Add Existing button. Select vendor and click on OK. After successfully add the vendors to the RFQ, then our next step is to submit this RFQ to the vendors. For that, click on Submit button. Here you can see the RFQ status is marked as submitted. Now our next step is to create responses against that vendor. For that, navigate to the Responses tab, click on the Responses. Here you can see the RFQ response is auto created after they submit this RFQ. Open each of the record and then we will add the responses in the response line. Here I am going to click on this record to open the RFQ response record. Here you can see the RFQ response detail page. Now I am going to add the status or select the status as responded, add delivery date and click on OK and click on Save to save this RFQ response. Now I am going to add the response received from the vendor in the Lines. Navigate to the Lines tab, open the response line. Add weight per unit and rate per unit. Here you can add discount. For that, select the discount type as percentage or amount. If you select the discount type as percentage, the discount percentage field appear below the discount type. If you select the amount as a discount type, the rupee field get appear or discount amount field get appear below the discount type. Here I am select the discount type as percentage and discount percentage as 10%. and click on Save and Close button. Click on this hyperlink present in Request for Quotation field. It will help to navigate back to the Request for Quotation detail page. Navigate to the Responses tab. Here you can see the delivery date and status is marked on the RFQ response grid. As per the details of responses add for the first record, now I am going to add the details of responses for second and third RFQ response record. Select reason. Here you can select the request for quotation response as a status as no response or regretted. If you select the status as regretted, the regretted reason field is appear below the status field. Here you can add the reason for regret of this request for quotation response. After added the reason for regret and click on Save button. After that, the RFQ response line get deleted and record becomes read only. If you select the status as no response, the RFQ response line in that case also deleted and RFQ response status is marked as no response. But here I am selecting the response the status as responded for this RFQ response to process on RFQ. Navigate to the Lines tab. Open the RFQ response line. Add weight per unit and rate per weight. And click on Save and Close button. It will help to save the RFQ response line record and we will redirect to the RFQ response detail page. Click on the hyperlink present in RFQ request for quotation field. Now I am going to add the details of response received for third RFQ response. Now I am going to mark this RFQ response status as no response and click on Save button. As I told you, the RFQ response line is get deleted. Here you can see the RFQ response line is get deleted and RFQ response is marked as no response. Navigate back to the request for quotation from this hyperlink. Here you can see our received response is marked to the RFQ response, and status you can see the each line status, responses and no response on the RFQ responses grid. Now our next step is to select or rejected the RFQ response. For that, navigate to the Lines tab, click on the RFQ line record. Navigate to the RFQ response line. Here you can see the two lines are created as RFQ response line for Allied vendor, Allied supplied vendor and Atlas Manufacturing Limited vendor. Both are in new status. Now I am going to select the line which is better for costing. Select that line and click on this Mark as Selected button. Here you can see the RFQ line is marked as selected. Change the query as all RFQ lines. And here you can see the another line is marked as rejected. After selecting the RFQ response line, now check the purchase requisition. Click on Purchase Requisition tab besides the Files tab. Here you can see the selected vendor is mapped to the purchase requisition. Now our next step is to approve this purchase requisition and create purchase order against it. For that, navigate to the procurement menu group, expand the procurement menu group and click on the purchase requisition menu. Select the record from the grid and click on Approve button to approve this record. Here you can see the status it changed from approved by manager to approved by purchase team. Now our next step is to create purchase order against this purchase requisition. Select this record and click on Create Purchase Order button. Here you can see purchase order detail page, and on this detail page in basic, pricing and configuration section, the details are get auto set from the purchase requisition and RFQ record. So in this video we had an overview for complete purchase management with RFQ process, starting from creation of purchase requisition, submit and approval of purchase requisition from manager, approval of purchase requisition from purchase team, creation of RFQ, add vendors and select the vendors of RFQ, and create purchase order against the purchase requisition which is in approved by purchase team status. Thank you.